All right. So. Oh, wait a minute. What is going on? What is going on? I just realized I forgot something. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna add all that stuff later. So, guys, what is going on? And Vanch! What is going on, everybody? Fico here. This is the second attempt to do the live cast. I was having issues with my audio yesterday, and I just said, screw it, I'm not dealing with this because there's so much that I had to do. So basically, before I get started, let me just explain. Yesterday I was having some audio problems. I was having my microphone from my XLR, as you could see, it's not there anymore. So until further notice, I am just gonna stick with my regular audio. I'm gonna stick with the Yeti. It's worked so far. It's worked great. So I'm just going to stick with this. And also, and I am using the headphone. Well, thank you, Vansh, for joining in. So. Well, the next thing that I'm doing is I'm also using xSplit again, because when I do the live cast, xSplit seems to behave. Yesterday I toned down my settings. Saturnight, welcome. Yep, yeah, I'm back. Oh Lord, Lord. Yes. So yesterday, like I was explaining, my microphone was cutting in and out. It was the audio problems that came back, the video problems that were happening. My stream was now stuttering, and I was just done. I was done. Well, I'm happy that you're Saturday night's happy. I just recall that I forgot the follower goals. Because the thing is that I'm just doing this because I haven't adjusted this whole thing yet to look the way I want it to look. So clearly I haven't worked with xSplit for about months. So I do have to again adjust the actual stuff. So, and also I did some testing yesterday with xSplit. I lowered my frames per second, so I'm not streaming at 60 frames per second anymore. Not yet. Not until I have more GPU to compensate. I'm also streaming at 3500 because that seems to be the one that works the best. I think if I put it any higher, it just uses more resources to try to, make up for that. So clearly it's it's not been fun. I left this really long post announcement. I'm just bummed. Yesterday I was just done. I was just, forget it. This is done. But you know what? I tested it yesterday. I just chilled the whole day. I just played video games. But now we're back. We got to do the live cast. It wouldn't feel right to just not do this live cast. I like, as I said in the post, I do like doing this a lot. So it's just so frustrating because every adjustment that you make results in failure. So I'm just, God, man, it was just so frustrating all the time. So I mean, if you go to my Discord, you'll read all the frustrations. But regardless, that is, if you want to know more about what I felt, that whole thing is there to read if you want. But anyway, I'm gonna try it We're gonna try this one more time. And the performance issues with XSplit on gaming, I hope that they don't stop us from streaming. I am looking and researching. Oh God. I'm sorry to hear that, Vansh. Dang. Well, homework is not a fun thing to do. I've never heard it being described that way, though. That's got to be some really tough homework. But regardless, we're just gonna do this live cast. We're gonna do it one more time. We're gonna try to see if it works. And Captain Vansh is gonna try to stick with us, even though his homework is screwing with him. So, what? We don't have any social media links. I have to fix all that. But anyway, regardless, those are just things that I'm just going to have to build today, and I'll add them to the to-do list. Like remake scenes on XSplit. But that's not what we're going to do now. What we're going to do now is we're going to talk a little bit about what's been going on in the world of gaming. And I'm going to start right from the beginning, because apparently 40 minutes into the thing, I realized, thanks to Spawner, he told me that my audio was just not in the best. So nobody could hear me, or they could hear me, but they were just breaking in and out. So I just like, screw it. I'm not going to do this all over again. It's so demoralizing. But what is not demoralizing is that we might be getting a new PlayStation, baby. And I was scrolling down the IRL channel and found a channel titled Streaming Porn. Oh, well, that is IRL, so. Haji Mimi? I've never seen somebody post a message with their name, but hey. Okay, I don't know what that means, but hello to you too. Weird. But anyway, we're talking about today, aside from porn in the IRL channels, is the PlayStation 5. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, there is another PlayStation 5 coming up. Apparently, it's in rumors. We're just saying that the PlayStation 5 is already in development, and that it's going to be, amongst the rumors that I heard was it was going to be backwards compatible with PlayStation 4 games, that it was going to be a portable console just like the PlayStation Portable, just like the Vita, but it's going to be more like a hybrid, sort of like the Switch. But these are all rumors. Now, they're saying that it might actually come out this year, but it's not. It's more than likely it's going to be in 2020. We already spoke about Michael Proctor's predictions. But then again, he's been wrong about these before, so, well, we don't know when that thing is going to happen. We don't know if it's in development, but regardless, this article from the Game Rant kind of goes over a few things, like the current generation. A lot of people think that the current generation hasn't been around. Like, for instance, like the Xbox One launched 8 years after the Xbox 360, and PS4 7 years after the PlayStation 3. So apparently it would be 2020 will be 7 years. But what this article kind of doesn't mention is that there was another PlayStation that was released, the PlayStation 4 Pro. Remember that? The PlayStation 4 Pro, the HDR, the 4K. So it's an upgraded version of the PlayStation. I mean, it is I mean, you can call it like it's a more of an upgrade maybe, but I'd stand to call it like its own. If it's on another console, then yes, it's a brand new console. It's still called the PlayStation 4, but it's just a better version of it. It's more powerful, blah blah blah. But I'd call that another release because you had to remake the console all over again. And nobody's mentioned or confirmed or denied anything, but a lot of people they're saying the rumors are coming from developers getting the dev kits, and apparently the dev kits. It's been said that whenever dev kits get sent out, 2 years after they get sent out, that's when the consoles launch. There hasn't been any confirmation of the dev kits, but it was a little misleading because apparently they were just PC builds that were supposed to reflect what the PlayStation 5's GPU, CPU stuff is going to conclude. The hardware is supposed to include. Some people suggesting that it could have the latest Navi GPU, AMD's latest for the PlayStation 5. And of course, there are the rumors about the PlayStation 5 being like the Switch, but they also got this obviously fake picture of the PlayStation 5. Obviously, this is a very poorly done Photoshop, but good try though. But my opinion is I don't think it's too soon. I don't think it's too soon that I mean, like, if they release it in 2 years, then you know what, the PlayStation 5, it does make sense in a way, but at the same time, it doesn't really look as though it's going to be it doesn't look like it's going to be too soon. It feels like it's a lot sooner because we're just getting these upgraded consoles every time. So but honestly, what I think about this is like, I would love it if it could be backwards compatible with PlayStation 4. I think they have no excuses. I don't think they have any excuses. If the technology is going to get slightly upgraded, I don't think they have any reasons to be like, yeah, we can't make the games that are from the PlayStation 4 compatible with the PlayStation 5 because we just simply can't. And it turns out that's a lie. That's a complete lie as well. But oh yeah, landscapers are working today, so you know, mind them as well too. And of course, well, I would love it if it would be just like the Switch, so we have yet another portable console / hybrid. I don't know if this is going to happen, but the PlayStation 5, honestly, what could it really do to shock and surprise me? Well, we'll have to wait and see. I don't know if we are actually getting a PlayStation 5 announcement on E3. Maybe they'll announce that they currently are working on it. But then again, the last time that they did that, I think it was with the PlayStation 3 when they were announcing everything that was cool about the PlayStation 3, all of the hardware specs. It became a really boring press conference. And then the year after that, it was the infamous PlayStation 3 conference where we get such lines as Ridge Racer! Ridge Racer! And of course, the now infamous attacking its weak point for maximum damage. I must have seen that video clip of that conference hundreds of times because everything that could have gone wrong with that conference went wrong spectacularly, and it garnered no hype. Thankfully, it was a success. I definitely would buy that PS5 in my dreams as well. I just got to know more about it. But in my dreams, I would love it if it would be compatible with everything. But, you know, Sony's got to make money out of it. So that's what we've got. That's all we've got for the PlayStation 5. We have nothing concrete. It's all rumors. And we will see what happens later down the road, whether there'll be a E3 reveal or not. It remains to be seen, but we'll have to wait and see. But what, and this is kind of where we, a little later after I realized that I was having the audio problems, I was trying to talk about Star Wars Battlefront 2's microtransaction system coming back to Battlefront, because apparently, despite all of the controversy, despite all of the things that we already told EA we didn't want to see in this game, they're still there. Oh yeah. At this rate, Vanch, we are most definitely there. My question, however, is what the hell else could they innovate with that phone? It's got to come to a point where they're just gonna stop calling it iPhone altogether. And yeah, you're hearing some landscaping sounds. Sorry, I can't do much about it. But yeah, we'll soon get an iPhone that's just as powerful to be like a Switch, and then like it probably already is, but not as good. But anyway, we all know about the controversy. And in case you don't know, the controversy was that a few days, iPhone 13 will be a failure. Well, unless it explodes because of overheating, we'll just have to wait and see. But regardless, Battlefront 2. It had a really rough history. I mean, they revealed the microtransactions, the pay-to-win stuff from the beginning. They removed the microtransactions temporarily at the beginning of the game. Then, of course, when they rolled back and decided that all of the stuff, the star cards and all of that, it'll all be through progression, it kind of led to almost everything in the game being something that you could unlock on your own. But EA doesn't make any money that way, despite them making money off selling you the game and maybe the DLC. But EA doesn't want to shy away from a gold mine, so they are reintroducing microtransactions back again in the Ewok Hunt update, which is later this week, in 2 days, matter of fact, which I don't care because I don't have that game. I do care, but not care and personally invested in that, like, at all. But they are bringing back crystals. And according to this, it's only going to be for cosmetics, which I guess that makes it A-okay then. Yeah, they'll be able to, I hope so. I hope that EA will be no more in a few years. I'm counting the days. I kind of don't want to wish that on a company, especially when there's so many people that work for EA across the world. But a company like EA has already screwed up so many times, nobody trusts them anymore. But anyway, we will see what happens in a few years. But current year is 2018. They screwed up their entire fan base with Battlefront 2. Nobody cares about this game, but they are taking measures to try to fix it. But unfortunately, with them reintroducing microtransactions, it's clear that EA doesn't not completely care about not having microtransactions. They want microtransactions in their game, whether you want them or not. So what they're doing is that they're implementing the crystals, which can be used to purchase what's known as appearances or skins. Come on, guys. Come on, guys, really? There's a lawn trimmer on the background. But anyway, microtransactions are being implemented to purchase, skins. 50 new skins will be coming out. But of course, what's cool about this is, although you can buy these with crystals, the in-game currency, the in-game currency credits, you could actually buy the skins using normal normal credits, which will totally, of course, not be skewed to, have you buy them, because the progression will be adjusted, because EA's never done that. Spoilers, they've actually done this before Battlefront 2. If EA dies, it will be a good lesson for other companies. I hope that's the case. Other companies are doing better now because of the things that EA are doing, and EA hasn't failed yet. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens with EA's future, whatever they're gonna do. Who cares? So their sales are down. Obviously, they're in backpedaling mode. They clearly are doing what they can to make the game buyable, because let's face it, they were gonna put the microtransactions back no matter what the controversy was. However, if nobody buys the microtransactions, they still need people to buy this game. So better to have people buying your game than having people not buying your game because the game has stuff that you don't like. So will this help? No, I think that Battlefront 2 is officially the very worst thing that has come out in years, mainly because of how slime that EA did to make this game. DICE could have benefited a lot and improving upon everything that the first Battlefront game didn't do. Instead, it was much worse. The bar was now raised even higher. Because of this game, there was so much talk about a lot of things. So it doesn't really seem that you could really get the trust back from a developer after they've lied to you, after they kept on lying to you, after they kept on trying to convince you that you're not right about microtransactions, you're really wrong, you kind of do want them, you just don't know it. No. No. Though that's also a lesson that EA doesn't listen to people, because if they listened, they wouldn't have the microtransactions. But of course, EA figures that this dies out enough. But guess what's going to happen again? If this dies out, then this microtransaction system comes back, and then gamers will realize that it takes much longer to get the skins that you want from the in-game credits, so it's still technically pushing you to buy crystals. So in a way, that is still bad. That's actually bad, but well, there you go. It's not beneficial, but EA really doesn't care. I think at this point, EA is just moving on. But I think the fact that they're introducing them again, they hope that people have forgotten and that people are fine with it just being cosmetics only. But the caveat still is that you still are paying for a $60 game. So no, it's not right anyway. But I prefer what they're doing now than what they were doing earlier. But I still don't think that they're getting the trust back from people. Vanch says it's 9 a.m. at my place and I'm still doing my homework. I was slow doing my homework when I was still getting homework back in the day. I prefer to watch TV and play video games. Homework to me really was just, whatever, a chore. Now, something that I kind of touched upon slightly was apparently that the Donkey Kong record holder was stripped of his records and banned. Now, this guy, Billy Mitchell, you probably know who this guy is. This guy is like this big gamer who had the record at Donkey Kong, where apparently he was a part of the King of Kong and a bunch of other like movies that were based just on him. But apparently, this guy's record was stripped and banned because apparently he cheated. Now, it says that he holds the record for the original arcade game, the King of Kong tape, which was the 1,047,200 and the 1,050,200 in the mortgage broker score, and then the 1,062,000 in the boomer score. But Twin Galaxies, someone called Jeremy Young or Zelnia, filed a dispute, claimed the validity of these performances, and then Young said that the original Donkey Kong arcade can't produce the broad transition images shown in the recordings unless you use an emulation software that's called MAME. And it was then shown that it was evidence was kind of open to public scrutiny and review. And after a couple of months, they did research and testing. Actually, yes. In the movie Pixels, this was actually that was the inspiration. I think the dude that looked like Peter Dinklage's character is supposed to be like an avatar to this dude Billy Mitchell. But apparently, the Twin Galaxies administration accepted Young's dispute, and Mitchell's scores have been removed. Mitchell has also been banned from participating in competitive leaderboards in Twin Galaxies. And so that means that not only is Billy Mitchell's records gone, that means that Billy Mitchell can't prove himself, which is kind of odd because he's kind of made himself a celebrity because of those movies and those things. So in a way, that kind of just invalidates everything. Now, this is the specific the second guy, God, I forgot who the second guy was. But actually, I don't even know if this is mentioned. Oh, Steve Wiebe. There you go. It's Steve Wiebe. That's the guy that was going against Billy Mitchell, I think. That was the guy that was like in the rival thing. Well, actually, the problem is that the stuff that they brought up was actually enough to prove it. This is the Galaxy. This is according to what the Twin Galaxies findings. This is that investigation. It says the taped Donkey Kong score performances of 1,047,000 and 1,050,000 that were historically used by Twin Galaxies to substitute these scores and place them in the database were not produced by the direct output of an original unmodified Donkey Kong arcade PCB. The 1,062,000 performance doesn't have enough of a body of direct evidence for Twin Galaxies to make a definite determination at this time. The score performance videos are in fact the performances that were previously used, previous Twin Galaxies administrations as justification for these scores to be entered. for Twin Galaxies to attribute these specific accomplishments. Twin Galaxies has several different sources of these performances and access to private historical Twin Galaxies referee it is very straightforward for anyone to check the authenticity performances source tape by just cross-referencing the digital capture video of the performance that has been posted in the dispute thread with the very public King of Kong movie gameplay footage along with its DVD extras. It's certain that an unmodified original Donkey Kong arcade printed circuit board did not output the display since in the videotape score performances, but it isn't clear so far at what is on the tapes is MAME. That definitively conclude that MAME was used, Twin Galaxies would need to comprehensively rule out the possibility of all other methods that could produce a scene tape. So to sum up, yes, it doesn't look like they have much of a hard evidence to say, yes, Man, that is a loud tremor. That they don't have a definitive evidence. But then again, because of the accusations, they really do seem to be very strong. While they can't prove definitively, there isn't enough proof to show that this wasn't a thing. So they're just doing it to save face. So basically, for now, Billy Mitchell's records have been stripped and he's banned from Twin Galaxies. So he can't post another record. So he has no chance to prove it again. So unless Billy Mitchell contests this decision, that's kind of how it is. I can't say for sure if this is a big deal or not, but you know, the reason that this is kind of a big deal is because the King of Kong has been one of the most well-known documentaries regarding video games, because this is the contest of the pursuit of a record, and it shows that like video games as a whole, you know, they, even if it's just to hold a world record, it's very important to some people. And Billy Mitchell made himself a household name to us gamers because of this. And I myself, I'm a skeptic, so I can't definitively say it's a shame that Billy Mitchell resorted to cheating, because apparently Twin Galaxies can't 100% prove it. But it's not just circumstantial. It's enough to kind of show that, yes, there is a case for it. But obviously, the only governing bodies are Twin Galaxies and whoever can prove or not. But it is kind of telling that you guys took the same content. You guys said it was okay, but now you're using that same content and you're kind of like looking at it differently. But not sure of that, how much that stands. But anyway, it is unfortunately, it's kind of sad. It is what it is for now. Unless Billy Mitchell can 100% prove it, or if the claims that the MAME was used can be compared or whatnot, it's just kind of up in the air right now. Obviously, they don't think it's right for this shadow of this guy who probably cheated to just keep being a part of the record books. So I guess it's just to save face. They're just doing this, just doing away with that. So, but if the same can be then later determined that he is the record holder, legit record holder, then hey, bring him back. And we'll see if that sticks. So, but in the meantime, Mr. Weeby, congrats, you are now the King of Kong. For now. For now, you are the king of that mountain. So you could go up onto your sofa, stand up, and go. I am the king of Kong. For now. Uh-oh, Cliffy B. Cliffy B is back. Fortnite studio has been called out by Gears of War director over hiring practices. Former head of Epic, founder of Epic, and now one of the co-founders of the failed will Steve get money? I honestly don't know. We'll have to see if there's a follow-up to that story. Considering that there's a good possibility that, I mean, if this could stick, then Bill Mitchell made his like money off of this, and Steve lost. So he could potentially get a lawyer and sue Billy Mitchell's ass, and then the next King of Kong will begin. So, former Epic developer and director, and former one of the heads of Boss Key, the creators of the now dead Lawbreakers, Cliff Bleszinski, asking Epic to stop trying to hire away my team. And of course, because Cliffy B knows that Fortnite is big and Bosky is failing, Cliffy B took public shots to his former employer, because that's what you do if you're Cliff Bleszinski. You create drama when nobody is listening to you. Hey, at Epic Games, could you please stop trying to hire away my team? Who currently runs a studio at Bosky, wrote Twitter, "We just launched at Radical Heights on EU4, and we are really happy of how it's going." And included a GIF with the phrase "not cool." Now, Bleszinski followed this up with an insinuation that this alleged employee poaching has to do with his studio's new extreme early access game Radical Heights, which bears a striking resemblance to Fortnite Battle Royale. There is room in this genre for more than a few games, SMH. We have plenty of ways to make Radical Heights our own, but they may never see the light of day if Epic keeps doing this. Now, according to this, is that missing from Bleszinski's public HR allegation is the fact that the two studios have already been down this road before. Boss Key co-founder Arjen Brugy left the company in December to return to his old employers at Epic. Brugy and Bleszinski began working together in Epic in the 90s collaborations to the PC platform game Jazz Jackrabbit. When Bleszinski confirmed the departure in December, he wished him well, but phrased it as "we parted ways," as opposed to Brugy leaving specifically for a brand new project, which the former Boss Key later confirms as the reason. Now, Bleszinski's Friday allegations didn't include any allusion to Brugy being involved, and did not clarify whether Epic's hiring eyes might be targeting staffers who flexed their muscles on Boss Key's last game, which was Lawbreakers. And then that in 2017, games had its shares of issues with a combination of polished high-speed action and Unreal Engine 4 optimizations have not been close to match the current unoptimized version of Radical Heights. Before Bosky launched its new game, the studio confirmed last week that it would cost too much to continue actively supporting Lawbreakers or converting it to a free-to-play model. Now, he says also that when Lawbreakers was announced, Bleszinski described Xbox fans as salty. He once described Notch as pouty over that developer's decision to not support Oculus Rift. And then in 2008, he blamed slow development on major PC games on fans who are, quote, savvy enough to know BitTorrent and to know all of these elements so that they could pirate software. Now, obviously, this is all stuff you've heard before. This is all stuff. Yeah, I feel bad for Battleborn as well too, man. That game looked like it had potential. It got killed by Overwatch. The funny thing is that the game is not at all kind of like Overwatch. But the problem is that it came at a very bad time. And but back to what Bliffy C, what Cliffy B was saying. Apparently, Cliffy is, well, apparently he's salty that Fortnite is doing really well. And apparently, people from Boss Key, he's claiming that Boss Key people are going to Epic because Fortnite's the bigger ship. Well, Cliffy, here's the problem. I think if anyone's to blame for people from your team leaving to go back to their former employer, I think you just need to look in the mirror. Because you're not really like Peter Molyneux. You're more like a child. Just poking at the game media, poking at the fans, poking at developers. You're just a voice. You're just the guy who just raises alarms. It's almost as if you're getting attention for yourself. You're a great developer. You're a great game director. I mean, Unreal, Gears of War. You've done great stuff. But the fact that you want to do this on your own, and the fact that it's a fact that you, yes, I think, is, Knack! What is going on, man? Welcome to the post-meltdown LiveCast. So, yeah, I'm back to xSplit. Audio's not set up. The scenes are not set up. I still got some work to do, but it's coming. I just have to actually do it. So, but I haven't done it because I need to do the stream. So, yeah, everything's good. Everything's all right. Yesterday wasn't a good day for streaming, so I just kind of took the day to chill. And I figured, you know what? Honestly, I am going to have to conclude that, at least for now, yes, I think they're to blame. I did find a way to maybe I could work around the audio issues. There's just something that's called Voice Meter Banana. There's this thing that's like an audio managing plugin that's called Voice Meter Banana. And apparently what it does is it adds an audio source, an audio driver, and then you basically manage and optimize your sound. I have a problem on Twitch Mobile. I get a problem in which the chat does not load. I actually never ran into that problem. There are sometimes, yeah, there's something really weird about Twitch Mobile, that it doesn't show you the chat the minute that you get on, and you have to do some minimizing and clicking all around. So clearly, I think it's because they've added group chats or specific chats or private chats. I'm doing good. Lars the Savage. I'm doing good. I'm feeling better. Yesterday was not a good day for streaming. Mods are useful. If you're talking about moderators, yes, they're very useful. They're very, very useful. Mainly is because they help you while you can focus on your stream. They're quite useful, actually. So yes. So welcome, Mr. Lars. Hello. What was I talking about? Okay. So basically, okay. So yeah. So I switched to xSplit for now because, well, let's give it another shot and let's see what happens. But honestly, we'll have to see. Nat could actually tell you a bit more about moderators because he's one and he's had mods on his channel more than I have. So, but in conclusion to the story about Cliffy B once again trying to garner attention just so that people remember that he's there, is that Cliffy, the more you bring out negativity to yourself, the more people are going to, they won't care about you. So, and unfortunately, that hurts your company boss key as well. So how about you shut up and let your developers develop, and then just go out and promote and promote your game. So, anyway, here is a great news for the 3 people that are still playing Destiny. Destiny 2 is getting a difficulty increase with the Warmind update. So basically, according to Games Rant, apparently things are about to get a little more difficult because when they launch Season 3, they're going to include something called the Warmind expansion. And so it's going to provide a more challenging experience for players when they take on higher leveled activities. For those that play Destiny 1 and 2, there's a noticeable difference regarding of how the game handles the difficulty for PvE. In Destiny 1, being within 5 to 10 points of the light cap made enemies easier. Within 10 levels down from the cap, we'll see a pretty significant increase. Now, this is the details of how they're increasing that. Change our outgoing player damage scaling versus higher leveled combatants to be steeper, similar to Destiny. As a result, higher level combatants will take longer to kill than they could currently do. But if you're above their level, you could still melt them, like with update 1.1.4. Extend our outgoing and incoming damage scaling from capping at a 40 power level delta to a 50 power level delta. Currently in Destiny 2, our scaling only affects the difficulty in combatants up to 40 power levels. Increasing this to 50 adds a little more room for players to show up how badass they really are. When combatants are power levels a higher or above, they will be immune and display a question mark over their nameplate. OG Guardians probably remember the first time they stumbled across the hive in the depths of the Cosmodrome. Current change combatant energy fields to fulfill the mission, matching energy elements, blah blah blah. Okay, so this is kind of part of this thing, their roadmap, because they have a roadmap. Because they've completely screwed up Destiny in every way, shape, or form. And nobody cares about Destiny anymore. So they have a roadmap for the current seasons. And I'll show you a little bit more. This is directly from the developers. So this is their current roadmap. And I'll expand it so that y'all could see it. So it got deployed, their Season 2, which included stuff like Weapon Ability Sandbox, Crucible Quitter Penalties, the Nightfall Unique Rewards. Oh, and please don't. Destiny is overrated. I played Destiny 1. I bought Destiny 2. It was fun. But now you run out of things to play and do really fast. Now, in Season 3, that's the Warmind deployment that they're doing. They're doing the seasonal Crucible rankings, private matches, multi-emotes, vault space increase, exotic weapon masterworks, seasonal vendor progression, heroic strike modifiers, challenge cards for Nightfall, a new seasonal event, bounties, PZ clan chat, exotic armor sandbox changes, which apparently, according to these new features had their delivery dates revised. And of course, in September, they've got gear collections, records, weapon randomization, stuff that they should have had when this game came out. But obviously, there is the post level content slide, which of course, the expansions, which is the new destination, the new rewards, the new lairs, the seasons where they've got the iron banners, the end game activities, and of course the Eververse, which of course you get more customization stuff. Now, of course, the bottom says, updated on April the 10th, Crucible maps included in expansions will be available to all players of Destiny 2 in matchmade playlists. Access to new Crucible maps in private matches will require purchase of their expansion. This plan goes into effect on May 8th when the Warmind update comes up. Now, the reason that I'm bringing all of this up is because Destiny is bon appetit, Nick. Bon appetit. I hope that the soup is good. Okay, so all right, so Destiny, do I really care about Destiny? Well, let's see. I've uninstalled the game and I haven't played it for over a month and a half. I've already described how Destiny is just, it just doesn't, I don't care about it as much. I do care enough of it to let people know what's coming out, just to show people, hey, there's Destiny's totally not dead. It's really still doing things. However, the additions that they're doing is they're just turning Destiny 2 into Destiny 1. So with all of the upgrades that they did, they took away a whole bunch of things, and now they're going back to what they did in Destiny 1 because the developers have no idea what the fuck they're doing. And it's not me saying it, it's them saying it. We just don't know what we're doing. We just don't know how to put content. We don't know how to make Destiny 2 relevant. So we'll just create the Eververse and we'll just get people to fight and fight and fight and fight and fight and fight. And then they just go and buy stuff. That's what you do if you're Destiny. If you're a Destiny person. If you're just doing that, that's what you do. Nobody cares. Sorry, guys. Nobody cares. This is the exact point that nobody cares about Destiny 2 anymore, and you've already lost a bunch of your player base. They know that you're deceptive. Bungie is now a joke of a company, and you guys are actually thinking about doing Destiny 3. I don't know what to say. I think that's a terrible idea. I think you guys should stop while you're ahead, and I think you guys should just give up because, I'm sorry, you're Destiny 3 is just not going to happen. Accept it. You stop making Destiny games. Your fan base has given up. Oh yeah, I remember when they released the Halo games, when they were, caring about story and setup, and then they went with Destiny, and then Activision told them what to do, and then Bungie was like, yeah, sure, we'll do it. We'll make lots of money. We're Bungie. And now Bungie is like a shadow of their former selves. Just how 343 is now, which isn't a better option than Bungie. Yeah. The Activision we give a lot of crap to EA, but Activision is still a terrible company as well too. I mean, the only reason that they don't get a lot of attention is because EA takes all of the attention away. If we find other civilizations, would we use the GMT to represent planetary time? Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, that is a good question. Would we have a universal time zone? That's assuming that doesn't exist and that alien civilizations haven't already come up with their own time zones that we don't know about. But think about it. Milky Way time. We're in the Milky Way. There's like a time zone. There's like a universal time zone. Is like the Milky Way is like this time. Everyone in there, including us, the aliens will be like, this is out the time here. So on. But then again, I think at that point they need like 2 time zone maps. They need like the time zone for the galaxy, and then they will have to use the time zone of the prospective planet. So, a prime meridian. That sounds familiar. I don't remember what that is. Shit. Damn it. But this is a bit of news that would make me and Nick absolutely happy. And there's a report that's going out that says that there is a new BioShock game in development. Now, the BioShock, the collection, that there wasn't much ripples in news regarding the series. The last inkling came from Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick, which said that fans should expect more BioShock sequels. That sounds very familiar, Vansh, but I'm afraid I'm drawing a blank. What does that mean? Yeah, please tell me. I'm drawing a blank. This drawn-out period of stillness finally broke earlier when Kotaku's Jason Schreier stated that a new game is currently in development. It seems that the project came to light while Jason Schreier was interviewing developers at Hangar 18. Those are the guys behind Mafia 3, for a story about the studio and the struggles that it faced over the past few years. According to Schreier, Hangar 13 works next door to another currently unnamed studio that's developing the new BioShock game, codenamed Parkside. According to one of Schreier's interviewees, the game was still in very early stages, saying that Parkside's not ready for a lot of people. That's what said in reference. This browser is called a Brave. I'm using something that's called Brave. Brave, it's a browser that was introduced to me. It uses a lot less resources than Google Chrome and Mozilla Firefox. Also, it also blocks ads as well too. So I'm just giving this a shot to make the streams a bit smoother, but it's called Brave. Mafia 3 pushed the boundaries of video game storytelling and left people wondering what the developers at Hangar 13 would do next. But for the past year, they struggled scrapping for ideas for Mafia 4 and a promising spy game. Now, who knows? My story. Now, Jason Schreier also says, amongst other details I learned while reporting this, right next Hangar 18, a top secret 2K studio that's now working on a top secret new BioShock game. Now, the first hint of this new BioShock game project actually cropped up a few months ago when Sean Elliott, a former level designer at BioShock Infinite, left Arcane Studios and returned to work at 2K Games. While both the studio project and the studio project were unknown, it was revealed that the studio was located in Novato, California. Considering that Hangar 13 is also located in Novato and that it's working next door to a mystery studio that's handling a new BioShock game, chances are good that Parkside is indeed the project that Elliott was hired. Still, the game is in top secret and is still very early stages in the game, it's unlikely that 2K will be willing to share any details. However, one of two reasonable guesses can be made in regards to some of the possible features. For one, the possibility of a new BioShock game featuring multiplayer seems very likely, considering the series past in 2K Games' parent company Take-Two Interactive recently relatively recent and somewhat controversial stance regarding microtransactions. And BioShock has been a blah 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 blah. Let me look up them. Now, the thing about it is, here's the thing that kind of gets me. Ken Levine is not going to get involved with BioShock. It's been done before, but unfortunately, I don't know how well a BioShock game would really be without Ken Levine. But we shall see. We shall see. Not a lot of information. But yes, I think we could definitively say we don't want any multiplayer. We don't want microtransactions. And you know what? The stance that people have is like, oh, well, if you don't want multiplayer, then just don't play the multiplayer. Unfortunately, your developers, you want the... Sure. Hold on. Yeah, here's the link. I want to show it to someone who just told me that he would look forward to a new BioShock game. Awesome. Well, there you go. However, I would tell your friend to not get himself or herself too excited because there's nothing yet to tell so much. So just keep it easy. However, I will say this. If you put a multiplayer game on your BioShock game, your developers still have to make it, which takes them away from their time making their games. So I would say no, please don't. Definitely not. Don't do that to us, please. Could you not? But we'll see. We'll see what'll happen. Honestly, I don't know what's gonna become of this new BioShock game. If it's a new BioShock game, it may not be. We're probably just getting ourselves way too ahead of ourselves. But would I like more BioShock? Yes. Please more. So the next bit of information is the God of War director wants a new project to be an original game. With the God of Wars coming out this Friday, and the feedback has been pretty awesome. The creative director of the game, Cory Barlog, wanted to speak up, and it says in the channel Skill Up, in an impromptu interview, Barlog details the difficulties and him and his team had during God of War's development, his plans for the future, and his good luck ritual of always being alone when the reviews come out. It says, with speculation of what the new generation of consoles could bring and the possibility that it might be a 2020 before the release of PlayStation 5, maybe, the future for Barlog and his team is unclear, although he did drop some hints that he did not want the industry... It might not be what the industry is expecting. And his role, the latest outing comes to a close. Barlog is already stating the plan of the future. He's saying, I would really love to create something on my own next. Something that really is truly 100% coming from his original vision. As many of you know, Cory Barlog has been working since the original God of War game came out. And he is the guy that headed this game that took 5 years to make. So if anything, God of War and Cory Barlog are two of the same thing. I mean, a lot of people give David Jaffe credit for God of War 1, but Cory Barlog was involved in that game as well too. He was like the producer, I think. So, and then he led God of War 2. and he was part of God of War. He's been a part of God of War for a long time, and then he came, and then he has been working with them. So he said, Barlock said, is clearly proud, but he also cleared that it wasn't entirely smooth sailing along the way, in a demonstration of the fact that even those at the very top of the industry have difficulty during the evolution. Admits that there were times that when he thought the whole project was going to come crashing down around him. Speaking of his fear of becoming the person who took a franchise and brought it to its knees, personal mantras and a capable staff pulled God of War through. Hey mods, if I say fuck you all, will you ban me? Well, I don't think they will. I don't think that they will. I honestly say that I actually welcome full discussions, and also I'm not one of the people who will flat out say don't be all like, oh, we can't have profanity. I mean, they're in the rules. So if you want to go by the rules, you can look at the bottom of the page and look at the rules. I just put the rules there. They're pretty lenient. They're pretty easy. They're just like, just don't be a dick. That's pretty much it. But that's pretty much it. I mean, just don't be a dick. And I think you're allowed. And common sense. That's pretty much. And yes, we could say Neck is crazy all day long. Just don't take it too dark, please. But speaking of God of War, even the head of Xbox congratulated Sony for the success of God of War, where it said Phil Spencer, the head of Xbox, says, congratulations at Sony Santa Monica. I don't know what at yo. Oh, yeah. On the review scores and the upcoming launch of God of War, looks like a special launch for the great franchise. And then Shuhei Yoshida, the head of Sony, says, thanks, Phil, smiley face. And then Major Nelson, Larry Herb, the Xbox Live Director of Programming, Major Nelson, said, looks like a winner, congrats. So good job, guys. You're on a good, you're good sport. You guys are we're not seeing this, what do I call it? This conflict of companies just going against each other. So, there is that, and I do like that. Let me actually make a bit of an adjustment here. 1 second here. So anyway, I'm actually happy when companies like that do this sort of things, that they do, hey, congratulations. Good job, guys. Can you guys watch torture scenes in movies? I can watch them, but I get nightmares. Well, if you're prone to watch, if you're kind of prone to torture scenes, then I would definitely avoid the Saw movies. Avoid the Saw movies. I would also avoid Hostel, because Hostel is terrible. They're very gruesome. So, yeah. Those I don't actively look out for as well, but at the same time, I'm a sucker for horror movies. So, yeah, that's a thing. But and I don't get nightmares because I don't get like vivid dreams. So I guess I'm fine. But the mind does these things to you anyway. So Saturday night, saw this thing that scared me when I was around 8. Oh, man. So Saturday night, what about this? So apparently, you can go monster hunting as Mega Man. Which apparently, it's part of something that's called like it's a crossover event. Just like they did with Devil May Cry, just like they did with Street Fighter and Horizon Zero Dawn. Ooh, Saw. Oh, yeah. Saw was awesome. I loved Saw when I watched it in the movies, and I think everybody in the movie theaters was legitimately creeped out when stuff like that was happening. So it says that players can select a rush of blood from the events section on the quest board. The quest puts players on the arena against 2 Ondogarong, and with one being much smaller than normal and the other much larger. Naturally, this quest is also great for earning gold crowns. Finishing the quest earns Odogaron parts as well as Mega Man tickets. And when 5 are earned, players can get a full-size Mega Man costume for the Palico as well as a Mega Buster weapon. And as a neat side bonus, the in-game music changes to an 8-bit Mega Man theme song based on the weapon that the player is using. For example, the Great Sword changes the arena music to Dr. Wily's stage at Mega Man 2. All right, Fico, I'll be heading out. All right, man. Oh, yay. Awesome, man. I will totally go check out your stream in a bit. We got a couple of like 40 to 50 more minutes I'm aiming for, so I'll definitely drop by for a few minutes. I do have some stuff to do today, and I might stream later tonight. So thanks for joining me, man. Thanks for dropping by. Really appreciate it. Yeah, the plot synopsis for Hostel, reading it, it's actually much worse watching it. Man. But this is actually really cool. I do think that I mean, I want Monster Hunter still. I just have to actually get the freaking game. But there you go. Anyway, let's move on to talk about the British Academy Game Awards. It's like an award show that was that's hosted. Apparently, this is like an award show that's done to honor the top winners. This is another award show. This is a more legit, respectable game award show instead of the video game awards. So apparently, What Remains of Edith Finch took the top prize of the night. It was a highly... Oh, yes. Yeah, the guy that created A Way Out, that dude is awesome. Jose something or whatever his name is. Fuck the Oscars. You know what? Fuck the Oscar.
Change.
Oh my God.
Ryder, you have changed. Ryder, you have changed. Ryder, what's up?
Jesus Christ, mighty.
What's up? Okay. Ryder, you've changed. Okay.
Jesus. Damn, that scared the hell out of me. What's up, mighty? That's why I keep forgetting they're there. Oh, man. But anyway, but yes, it won the top award at the BAFTA Game Awards. It at the highest rated first-person mystery, managed to fend off Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, Assassin's Creed, and Super Mario Odyssey. That was a sound effect. That was a sound file. because when I stream, I use something called a chatbot. And the chatbot has the ability to post automatic message, the ability to post links. Yeah, Saturday night. I'm sorry. I also have to add sounds as well too. Sorry. So yeah, that's a thing. Commands, that works. So yeah. Oh dear Lord. But anyway, there you go. Those are the commands. They're not that many. I still have to go back there and add more commands. But anyway, what was I saying? Okay, the other big winner, and I'm actually super duper happy. It is Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, which took 5 awards, including Melina Jurgens for the best performer. No. This is more like yes. And I don't know why yes is not included in the commands, but there you go. Yes is a part of the commands. But yes, I'm super Divinity. I'm just kidding, man. I'm just kidding. I'm glad that you're enjoying the sound effects. I'm just showing you the one that wasn't shown in the commands. The commands, for some reason, don't show yes. So I guess it just didn't create a command. I'm kidding, bro. Fan favorite original Divinity Original Sin won Best Multiplayer. Congrats. And some drunk guy voted Overwatch for evolving game. Overwatch has been the same since it came out. The night was not a success for Horizon Zero Dawn, which apparently, after it got like 8 nominations, it only managed to get original property for the award for best original property, and Cuphead won one of its 3 for best music, which, you know what? The Academy Fellowship Award, the BAFTA's highest honor, was given to Tim Schafer, the popular game designer who is responsible for Grim Fandango, Brutal Legend, receives the Fellowship Award. He joins Peter Molyneux. Peter Molyneux. Gabe Newell, the guy that used to make games, and Shigeru Miyamoto. So this is the list of the BAFTA. So for best game, What Remains of Edith Finch, game design, Super Mario Odyssey, original property, Horizon Zero Dawn. Go is the best debut. Best evolving game is Overwatch. Best music was Cuphead. I will not dispute that. Best family game, Super Mario Odyssey. Best game innovation, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Best multiplayer, Divinity Original Sin. Audio achievement, British game, and best performer were all Senua's Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, with artistic achievement with Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice again. Best narrative, Night of the Woods. And the best mobile game was something called Golf Clash. Well, congratulations to Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice was one of my favorite games that I played last year. And with that, Ninja Theory became one of my favorite. Don't you know that people can spam those sound effects? That is why I set timers on them. So I don't know how to set a timer for them overall, but basically I did set up a timer for them so that they don't spam them. So congratulations, guys. You definitely earn it. So what is going on with Bethesda? Wow, they're promising a big mix of games at E3 2018. Now, we know that they're saying they're going to be announcing something for Prey. Prey. We're getting more Prey. We're either getting an expansion or we're getting something else out of it. But you know what? Pete Hines met with DualShocker, revealed that there's currently a hectic time at Bethesda because they're preparing for E3. However, he says he feels confident and excited that there's going to be what's going to be in store. And this is what he said. I couldn't give you any guesses as to what we're doing to announce and when those games will be out. But I will say we have a lot of new stuff to talk about at E3. Whether or not folks realize it, this is the hell on earth time for us with E3. We're in the midst of so much planning and work for all of that content, and I'm really excited. I think we have a lot of stuff that folks are going to like. To my earlier comment, it's going to be a big mix of stuff that's all over the place. It's not going to be like all one-of-a-kind game or genre. It's going to be a lot of stuff in a lot of different areas, and hopefully there's something there for everybody. Now, obviously, there are two major games that are apparently in production before Elder Scrolls 6. There's this game that's called Starfield that hasn't been talked about too much. There is also another game that is supposedly like completely different from Bethesda. They haven't said anything new about Fallout. They haven't said anything about the Elder Scrolls. So apparently they're talking about they're probably talking about other new properties, but that's not to say that they're not going to mention them. So trust me. That's also one important thing. Common sense. Don't overuse the sounds. Yeah, exactly. Mighty just kind of scared me a moment ago, but dang, that's the way he says hi now. That's kind of the way he just says hi to me, but that's cool because Mighty's cool peeps. So, but Pete Hines isn't the only one Bethesda's talking. My stream is always changing. Just changing devices and changing stream software. I'm always trying to change. Oh shit! No! Oh no! I said the keyword. Damn it! Probably gonna get surprised a minute from now. But apparently, Todd Howard is recently revealed of a new animation engine that is used for a project that is in pre-production. So Todd Howard is going to be a part of the festivities. So so we'll see what happens. Now, I'm actually really excited. I do hope that we do get some stuff that's, going to happen coming down the road. Oh, there's no keyword. You heard nothing. But anyway, but Yacht Club Games, congratulations! You have sold 2 million copies of Shovel Knight. Congrats, guys! You sold Shovel Knight Travel Troll about 2 million copies, which is great because you guys have done really great releasing stuff, publishing Gunvolt, a bunch of really cool stuff. And of course, the breakdown for the Shovel Knight, which a majority of it is for both 3DS and Windows. But if you see, there's even a little bar for Vita. There's a little bar for Mac. But if you look at this, 17% of the game sales were from the Switch. And the Switch hasn't been out that long. So that is good. About 50% was 3DS and Windows. But a big chunk of it was actually through the Switch. So even though the Wii U is kind of like dead and gone, you could at least thank Nintendo for at least 31% of your sales. So I just wanted to show this, and it's actually really cool because it does show like the sales throughout the times of the release. And of course, it shows here the copies sold per month by the platform. And of course, that big spike for the Switch when around the time where the Switch came out, Shovel Knight became a huge game that came out. So honestly, and if you noticed, despite the game being out for a while, the Switch was the one that gave them the biggest spike. So this is good data. This is good data. And of course, the units for the release with this initial release, the release for all that stuff, and then the Spectre of Torment that was released. Their sales spiked up as well too. So this is very, very, very transparent. This is very transparent, of course, showing what is the best way to clean your keyboard. You are full of questions today, and just so happens that I have the answer. Canned air. Also, it's like Saturday Night says, it kind of depends on the kind of keyboard you have. So what I do is I just wash my hands every time before I use my keyboard, because I have it's a little messy now, but I have one of these. This is a mechanical keyboard. It's a LED keyboard as well too. So obviously, it's definitely not water safe. So clearly, you can't wash this keyboard when it's plugged in. So I'd say I'd use a wipe that is used to wash electronics safely, and also make sure that it doesn't drip. I would definitely, but for normal keyboards, I would definitely not use like Clorox or Windex or stuff like that. That would be a little, I think, too much. As you can see, they also say by region, and I like this breakdown. I love this. And of course, they talk about the spectrum of torrent release, and a bunch of stuff, which just kind of makes me want to play Shovel Knight. And I own Shovel Knight, so I will probably be playing that game. So let's talk about. Okay. So yes, so congratulations to Yacht Club Games, Yacht Club Games. You guys have an excellent game, and I'm happy that you guys made it to the 2 million mark. Very, very happy for you guys. Very awesome. So first unplug my keyboard, and then I open it with a screwdriver, and I just clean it with a wet tissue. Weird trailer. I watched the latest one when I went to watch Ready Player One. I watched the latest one. The one that ends with Thanos and Captain facing each other. Yeah, I watched that one, but I haven't watched there's another trailer I've seen, so the collector's edition of Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle has been announced for North America, which will be available for Switch and the PlayStation 4. So, when I get my Switch version of this game, Arc System Works has announced a collector's edition, and it'll include, this is the $99.99 version. So it will include a copy of the game, naturally. It'll include a high-quality box, steel case game. Also, the original soundtrack on CD, which kind of weird that it only includes 15 tracks. Kind of even weirder that it includes it on a CD. A softcover art book, which is with a cover jacket, which I like that. I like art books, thank you. And acrylic art stands from Hide Kido, Ruby Rose, Ragna the Blood Edge, and Yu Narukami. Ju or you or Ju. So the pre-orders have started, and this game is going to come out on May 31st. And in North America, it's going to come out on June the 5th. So if you're interested in owning a lot more crap, then there you go. So, now, ladies and gentlemen, actually want to talk a little bit about the pirate game. I actually don't even know what an acrylic stand is, but the fact that you're getting 4 of them and you're saying that they're cool. What? Well, you could actually do that? Mr. Savage, I am doing okay once again. I thought I said hi to you earlier. Sorry that I must have not said hi. I did say hi to you. We're doing good. I'm doing good. Mr. Saturnite's doing great as well. I guess he's been put in timeout. Dang. But it says it's 600 seconds. Oh, shit. So, now remember when we said that Sea of Thieves was kind of like an experience that didn't look like there was a lot of things going on, and that you were buying a $60 early access game? Well, Joe 3 Sheets Nate, the executive producer, apparently wants us to oh no, I know. I know he asked for a timeout, but he also said he wanted to be on a timeout for a minute, and it said it was set to 600 seconds. So he's on timeout for a few minutes. So damn. I wonder if you could adjust that timeout. So anyway, a lot of people are wondering what's coming down the road, because remember, the developers are not shy about saying that this is a games as a service, that the stuff that you're getting now, it's just the beginning, that you didn't buy a game, you bought an evolving experience. But this is what Joe Nate said. It's been just over 3 weeks since we launched Sea of Thieves, and a lot has happened since then. We've been listening to you all. We know that you are keen. We know you are keen to hear about the plans to grow Sea of Thieves. As we've always said, launch is just the start, and we're going to grow and evolve the game with feedback from our community. It feels like the right time to reveal how we'll do this. All right. Well, let's see what you're talking about. Let's see what you mean. Sea of Thieves is a unique experience. Spawner! Welcome! Yes! The audio is good! Is good. The audio is back, is back. And also, you might have also noticed that the microphone is... I'm feeling better today. Well, I did 2 things. We'll get back to the story in a second. Well, I switched the microphone back, and I'm using xSplit. So basically, it's a little bit of column A from what you told me, and a little bit of column B. So I'm using xSplit, and I'm using this thing now. So that's what I did. I haven't set up the scenes yet on xSplit how I want, so I will be doing that. I actually did a couple of different changes. The OBS stuff, I'm moving it to xSplit, but the settings are 3500 for the bitrate, and I set the stream to send at 30 frames per second. But here's the thing, Spawner. What I'm doing now, I never had a problem with xSplit. No. What I'm doing now, I don't have a problem. It's when I'm playing video games that's usually the problem. When I'm playing games that use up more CPU and GPU, that's when I start running into problems. I didn't say that you were lying. I'm just saying that in my experience, on my rig, when I play video games and I'm using xSplit, I would notice that it would use up resources more. But the LiveCast, resources are great because it doesn't require that much to have xSplit open at a browser. So this itself is not a problem. So Well, for now, it's just using 5% of the GPU and 47% for the CPU. I tested it yesterday, and yesterday I tested it with Far Cry. Far Cry was acting up yesterday. With the CPU, well, it goes up and down. It goes up. It says 42%, 35%. Earlier it was at 20. That's what it's telling me. Yeah, I know. I mean, it's not. I mean, earlier it was at 15, but also I don't know what else is. Yeah, there's other stuff that's using stuff up here, so there is that. So, but yesterday I used a test stream and I played Final Fantasy while I was doing the test stream without it going live. I did notice that performance was okay. It was doing good. But then again, sometimes when the GPU goes up, it does kind of slow things down. I don't know how it would be showing the wrong results. Well, actually, if I do Task Manager, it's actually, according to this, it's using about 9% of the CPU, but it's using the GPU at around 44% because this is with all of the other applications that are running. So this is yeah, I know. I told you this is something on my on xSplit is using up. I also think that it's probably there are some things that are configured on my there are some things that are consuming my my CPU. So, but anyway. But we'll talk about that later. So anyway, because we're coming to an end to the stream here, they said that they were considering plans on how we can make the most impact. Bringing players together in interesting ways, encouraging different types of player encounters, enriching the world, giving players new ways to play, giving players a variety of goals, and they're planning on doing a bunch of other stuff. Yeah, I really appreciate it. No. I know that this is all for good. So definitely no. I definitely know. It's just, but trust me, I'm almost done. I'm actually almost done. So Sea of Thieves came out. It didn't look like there was a lot of things that were happening, but alongside this, what's key for us is the rhythm. Is we get in Sea of Thieves. So according to them, our focus on April is to continue addressing the top feedback points, move into April. Our first content update, which is called The Hungering Deep, will release in May and bring us with a new AI threat to the world. Crews will have to work together to discover and defeat this threat as part of the unique event. I'm pretty sure that's the Kraken or something else. We will also be introducing a number of new mechanics to assist players, and there will be unique rewards that players can earn as part of this event. Beyond this, we will begin our weekly events program during May, which will introduce new mechanics and give players fun new ways to play. Kind of weird that you guys didn't introduce these mechanics before you came up with the game. Kind of weird. You guys are kind of doing the No Man's Sky thing. Just release the game out and then you work on it as the game was already been released. In the summer months, we will debut 2 more content updates with Cursed Sails, which will include a new ship type, and Forsaken Shores, which will introduce players to a perilous new part of the world to explore. Similarly to The Hungering Deep, both of these updates will also include new gameplay mechanics, new AI threats, And he says, as well, we said, we never wanted to do anything to separate our players, so we're pleased to confirm that all content updates will be available to all players at no additional cost. Nice! For more details of our plans in the coming months, there's more details down below in the video. With Sea of Thieves being a game that grows and evolves, we'll be listening to you, our community, throughout. As such, we'll always be looking at whether our current plans are meeting the plan's needs. So, blah, 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 pets, ship, captaincy, blah, blah, blah. Hugely excited to be beginning the phase of Sea of Thieves. Cheers, Joe Nate. Okay, so, while I am happy that Sea of Thieves is evolving, while I am happy that you're... Welcome back, Vansh! I thought that timeout was going to be for a minute, but you're back. Thank you for coming back. By the way, he was on timeout because he requested it, so he didn't do anything bad. So don't say mean things to him. But anyway, yeah, I know he asked for, I was wondering about that. I guess the timeout can be adjusted. Yeah, I'll check that later. That's actually a good one. I didn't even know about the check timeout settings. Yeah, but I'll look into that later. But anyway, here's the thing. The reason that I think Sea of Thieves has gotten this much hate is because it came out. It's a $60 game, but it's a $60 game that is like really light on content, and it's very light on fun. And it's weird that they are introducing these new mechanics later down the road. I think they thought that they could pull like a Sims, where they could just sell you back the stuff they're taking out. But apparently they're giving you the content for free, which begs the question, why didn't they just release the content right off the bat? Which means that they either intended it to do it, the way they did it to sell you back, but it backfired on them, or they intended, they really did intend to release all this for free, but they just didn't have it ready for launch, which is odd. Which is very, very odd. But anyway, I do hope that Sea of Thieves does get better, but I honestly, I can't recommend that game how it currently is in its current state. Currently, the game is apparently light on content, and it needs, definitely want to avoid doing that in the future. I mean, I know that you guys are planning for the future, Rare, but the problem is that what you have now in the present kind of shows that you don't have much to offer for players now, and that's a little bad on your end. So, but anyway, timeout classes for we'll find all of that out together, Vansh. We'll find that out, unless one of y'all already know. Also, speaking of Hazelight, Hazelight is the studio that made he just passed by really quickly with his lawnmower. Anyway, but anyway, A Way Out, the dude that said fuck the Oscars, his studio, they found out that they sold 1 million copies in just over 2 weeks, which, congratulations, awesome. And because you need to play the game with another person, that means that 2 million people concurrently played this game. So, again, congratulations, Hazelight. You guys did a great job. I will be getting a way out. I do hope that there's somebody still playing. So, and I think that might have been it. That might have been the last. That might have been the last bit. I didn't look for stuff for today because all of this was planned for yesterday. So that was it. But you know what? Congratulations, Hazelight, and congratulations to also for Yacht Club for selling 2 million. A lot of people selling millions of stuff. Good. You know, a lot of people think that I just hassled video game developers. Yes, I did. As a spawner. And I always yell out Spawner's name as well too. So, but I'm glad that you're. But I'm happy you're coming out for him. But yes, Vansh. Some people just are. Sometimes the mood, like yesterday, I'm like miffed because yesterday just rubbed me the wrong way with all of the audio problems and all of what was going on. I was just like, you know, screw it. But yes, we have come to the end of the LiveCast articles. Really? He's not that far away. Okay. So anyway, yes. It kind of is. It makes me think of Vash or Vash the Stampede, like from Trigun, or Captain Borscht from Final Fantasy. So I don't know. It's like when you see the name Bunch, it's like Bunch. It's like you make me like It does have a. It has a pep to it. It does have a pep to it. Okay, so plans for today. I've got to do some adulting, so that sucks a little bit. But I'm kind of contemplating on whether or not to buy the Switch today or plan myself out a little bit, because I do want to not just get the Switch, but have the capture card ready. So I'm trying to figure out where to get the capture card. Well, that's why I adjusted the audio levels, because earlier I think the audio levels would have definitely, like, holy crap. Rest in peace, not just headphone users, but speaker users that have the volume set way too high. So later today, I do hope, like in a couple of hours, I'm going to do like a good legit like full stream for gameplay. I'm going to continue to play Final Fantasy 15. Plus, I also plan on... I'm also gonna do some adjustments to the scenes, because obviously I gotta build the scenes again like I had them in OBS. Plus, try to research and figure out how I could lower my CPU usage, because right now, according to this, my CPU usage is a little high. Apparently, the browser is a good reason why it's high. I could have sworn that this was supposed to take away CPU usage, but it's using about about 10% of it. So, yeah. So again, I apologize for the landscaping noises. Jesus Christ, guys, really? Shoo! But anyway, plus, I do want to adjust a couple of things. There's a couple of things I want to do here on the StreamLabs bot. So, there's a couple of things that are looking to adjust and fix with the stream, because obviously this is a work in progress. Obviously, you don't see any of the graphics on this because I haven't put any of them yet. So I have to go back and pull those things back. So I'll just use OBS to recreate the streams again, and then kind of learn how to sort things on xSplit. And the problem is that it's a little harder to use xSplit because not a lot of people are using it, because people are always using OBS. And one of my favorite streaming how-to stream channels always use OBS, so they're not using xSplit. I guess they're going with OBS because OBS is free. So yeah, OBS is unfortunately not up to snuff. I'm sorry. It's definitely not. It needs some more time in the oven. I swear to God, the landscapers are getting even louder. What do I have to type? Like what? Like my keyboard? You mean? They're getting even louder, guys. Seriously? Is there no other places you guys would rather just work? Go. Okay, I am using a Black Widow Chroma 2. I think they're actually getting closer. Can you hear that it's getting louder? Oh my God, go away! They won't go away. They won't let me talk. I'm getting too distracted. These landscapers are driving me nuts. Anyway, I'm using, oh, what do I type? I'll tell you in a second. Currency. I think you type, oh, it's without it's without the S. You know what? I think I'll just add the S, because I think a lot of people maybe like prefer it to be with the S rather than the S. So I think I'll just do that. There we go. You're gaining them slowly by slowly. And if it looks like you don't have much, it's only just because we only just implemented the currency just now. So there is that. So, but anyway, so yes, I'm going to try to see if I can figure out how I can make the xSplit's broadcaster like use less memory. There are settings here on the stream on xSplit that do have a way that I could it says use legacy video processing, but there's also an option that will let me use the GPU to use more video processing. So we'll have to see. And you're also brand new, so but you know what? You're accruing a significant amount of fee coins. So thank you for watching. Thanks for everybody for watching. But anyway, this is I do have the rest of my scenes all set up. I do have to kind of adjust these. I also have to create the starting soon scenes, the flip from scene to scene. So I have to literally create the scenes again. So, but anyway, I am gonna see if this works and see if I could get advice for people to learn how to optimize this stream so that way it uses less CPU. The reality is eventually that I am going to need a better CPU, a better motherboard, more memory, and a better GPU. Realistically, that is the truth. But that's all in the future. So I do hope I'm gonna be putting some money on the side. Other viewers make the chat pop. I don't understand that. I didn't get. Oh. Damn, autocorrector. Yeah, I've found myself constantly saying that at times. So ultimately, I will end up having to upgrade my computer. I will keep the case, and I am keeping the cooler. But ultimately, I will be upgrading. If I get a better processor, that means I got to get a new motherboard.